Welcome back, everybody, to AI Explained. Today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty fascinating.
Mhm.
This idea of equitable AI.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be looking at, well, where else but the World Economic Forum.
Right.
They've got this new blueprint.
Mhm.
They're calling it a guide to, get this, using AI for inclusivity in the global economy.
Wow. Inclusivity.
But I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but the WEF partnering with KPMG to tell everybody how to use AI.
Right.
I don't know. It's a little bit, I'm a little suspicious.
Well, at first glance, it all sounds like, kumbaya.
Right.
The WEF, they say they want to use AI to help, grow the economy and, for the good of society across, all nations and all peoples.
Mm-hmm.
But, the cynic in me wonders if maybe, just maybe, there's something else going on here.
Yeah, I mean, they go so far as to quote Kathy Lai.
Okay.
She's the WEF head of AI.
Right.
And she says, different countries are at different points, in their AI journey. And that this blueprint is like, get this, a compass.
Oh, a compass.
But a compass to where?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And who benefit? I mean, that's the question, right?
Right.
What are they really up to?
Exactly.
So this blueprint that we're talking about,
Yeah.
it's actually called, and I'm not making this up, Blueprint for Intelligent Economies.
Okay.
And their argument is that, when a society adopts AI, it has to reflect, like, the needs of the local communities.
Mm-hmm.
They actually bring in Solly Malatsi.
Okay.
I don't know if you know him, but he's South Africa's Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies.
Wow.
And he talks about how, a lot of regions around the world, they just haven't tapped into the potential of AI,
Yeah.
And he says what we need is collaboration to help everybody grow.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
But, who is really, calling the shots here?
That's the question.
The WEF, they're not really known for sticking up for, the little guy. I mean, are they really worried about helping out, developing nations? Or is this just some kind of clever way to, get their hands on more of the global economy?
You make a really good point there.
Yeah.
Because the blueprint, it goes on and it talks about tailoring AI approaches to different, places and cultures.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Geographic and cultural nuances.
Mm-hmm.
They even have, get this, case studies
Oh, wow.
where they show practical and what they say are scalable solutions for, countries that are at different stages of, how mature their AI is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give them that. It does sound like they're trying to acknowledge that different places need different approaches.
Yeah.
But how serious are they about these local needs?
Right.
And what about the biases, that might already be in these AI solutions?
Well, and that's where things get even more interesting.
Yeah.
Because the blueprint, it goes on and it talks about how some countries just don't have the resources. And they say we need things like cooperation between countries on AI frameworks and even sharing resources.
Sharing resources.
Yeah, like energy and get this, data bank.
Data banks.
Yeah. And they even say we need public and private subsidies for devices that are AI ready so that everybody can afford them.
Hold on.
Right.
Shared resources.
Yeah.
Subsidies.
Yeah.
I mean, who controls all this? Who
Yeah.
decides who gets the subsidies?
Right.
I don't know. This is starting to sound like, dare I say, a new kind of dependency. Developing nations depending on the WEF and their corporate friends, for handouts.
Mhm.
It's like this sneaky power grab disguised as charity.
I mean, that's a really sharp observation.
Right.
Because it really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is this equitable AI that they're talking about really just a Trojan horse,
Mm-hmm.
for some kind of new world order
Right.
where the WEF and their buddies are the ones in control?
Exactly. And let's not forget, AI, it needs data to survive, right? So whoever controls the data, they control the AI.
Right.
So these shared data banks that they're talking about,
Yeah.
I mean, couldn't that be a way for them to just scoop up even more data?
Yeah.
And that would give them, crazy control over information. And if you control the information, you control everything.
Exactly. So let's talk about their three main areas that they're focusing on.
Okay.
First, they say we got to build AI infrastructure that's sustainable. They talk about how these systems need to be resilient and scalable and, of course, good for the environment.
Sounds good. Right.
Sounds great.
But who gets to build all this?
Yeah.
And who makes all the money from it?
Right.
And what about, the environment? We all know that, to train AI, it takes a lot of energy.
Tons.
Yeah, I mean, are they really worried about sustainability, or is this just, greenwashing
Right.
to make us, like their plan?
Yeah, just to make it more palatable. Exactly. And then their second focus is curating what they call diverse and high-quality data sets. Again, sounds good,
Yeah.
but who decides what's high quality and
Well,
what's
and what
diverse?
about censorship, and
Yeah.
manipulation? I mean, who controls the narrative?
Right.
That's scary. I mean, they could make the data say whatever they want it to say.
Exactly.
And that would create a world where only certain people's voices get heard.
Yeah.
It'd be like, a digital echo chamber controlled by the WEF.
And finally, they talk about establishing ethical and safety guardrails.
Okay.
And this is where they try to, calm everybody down and say, hey, we're thinking about the risks.
Okay.
But are these guardrails actually going to work?
Right.
Or are they just for show?
Yeah, like a facade.
A facade, just a way to, keep people quiet while they do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with facade.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to enforce these ethical rules?
Right.
The WEF?
Yeah, it's like, isn't it?
It's like putting the fox in charge of the henhouse.
It is. It's
Yeah.
very cleverly designed.
Yeah.
The language they use,
Yeah.
inclusivity, sustainability.
Right.
It's all meant to, hide their true intentions. But when you really look closely, a different picture emerges.
A much different picture.
Yeah.
It's a picture of a world where, just a small group of, unelected tech guys, technocrats, they're the ones with all the power.
Yeah.
They get to control our lives with AI.
And they're hoping that most people won't, question their motives.
Yeah.
That we'll all be blinded by the, the shiny promise of this bright future powered by AI.
Yeah, well, we're not falling for it.
No,
We're going to keep digging,
absolutely.
keep asking the tough questions, and expose the truth about what the WEF is really up to.
Yeah, because this isn't just about AI. This
Yeah.
is about power.
Right.
Who has it?
Mm.
Who wants it?
Yeah.
And who will do anything to get it?
Exactly.
Anything.
And on that note, we'll be right back after a quick break.
So speaking of power,
Right.
let's look at how they structure this whole equitable AI thing.
Okay.
They break it down, get this, to layers.
Layers. Sounds like a cake,
Right.
but I have a feeling this cake might be, a little bit poisoned.
Exactly. The first layer, they call it the foundation layer.
Okay.
And it's all about sustainable energy.
Go.
Diverse data,
Uh-huh.
responsible infrastructure, and efficient investment.
Okay.
It's pretty good so far, right?
Yeah, but again, I mean, who decides what's responsible?
Right.
What's efficient? These words, they're so vague, so open to, interpretation.
Yeah.
It's like, classic, use these ambiguous words to make it sound like everybody agrees while
Right.
you're, pushing your own agenda.
Exactly. And then the second layer, the growth layer,
Okay.
that one focuses on integrating AI into, our work and our processes to, innovation.
Innovation.
Yeah.
Growth. I mean, these are like the, the favorite words of the global elite, right?
Right.
It's all about, making more money, getting more control, and staying, at the top.
Right.
I mean, regular people, they don't even factor into the equation.
Exactly. You're getting it.
Yeah.
And then we get to the third layer, the people layer.
Oh, the people layer. Okay.
And this is where they try to, address how AI affects humans.
Okay.
They talk about workforce skills, empowerment, and ethical considerations.
Ethical considerations. Come on. This is just a show, right?
It is.
They want us to think they care about us, but at the same time, they're building a system that puts all the power in their hands.
It's like, do as I say, not as I do,
Yeah.
They say ethical AI, but what they do is a whole other story.
Yeah. And what about this multi-stakeholder approach they're always talking about?
Right.
Public-private partnerships,
Mm-hmm.
lifelong learning programs,
Yeah.
financial incentives for, areas that are struggling.
Right.
Sounds good, right?
Right. On the surface.
But let's be real for a second.
Okay.
A lot of times these partnerships, they're not really equal, right?
Right.
The corporations and the governments, they get what they want.
Right.
And regular people, they get left behind.
And lifelong learning. I mean, that sounds great, but who's designing these programs?
Right.
Who decides what people learn? It could be a way to, brainwash people to make them think like the WF wants them to think.
Yeah, and these financial incentives, it seems like a good thing,
Yeah.
right? But it could also be a way to control people,
Exactly.
make them dependent.
We'll take care of you, but you got to do what we say.
Right. It's subtle, but it's coercion.
It is.
It's like they're saying you have a choice, but you really don't.
Right. And you know what their main message is.
Right.
They say that AI It's the foundation of the future economy.
Okay.
And to avoid making things even more unequal,
Mm-hmm.
we have to share the benefits of AI fairly.
Equitably. But equitable for who? I mean, whose definition of equity are we talking about here?
Right.
The WEFs. They want us to believe that they're the good guys,
Right.
leading us to this, perfect world powered by AI.
A utopia.
But let's be honest, their track record isn't exactly great.
No, it's not.
I mean, the WEF, they usually put the rich and powerful first, right?
They do.
Their policies, a lot of times, they make inequality worse, not better.
So why should we trust them now? Why should we believe that this time it's different?
Yeah, why should we hand over the most powerful technology we've ever created to the WEF?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, because what's at stake here is huge.
It is.
We're talking about the future of humanity, the future of our society.
If we let the WEF control AI, we're basically giving them the keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, they'll have the power to control our lives in ways we can't even imagine.
Think about it. AI could automate millions of jobs, watch everything we do, control what information we see, and even manipulate our thoughts and feelings.
It's like a dystopian nightmare waiting to happen.
And the WEF's blueprint is the guidebook.
They want to be the puppet masters, and we're the puppets.
Exactly. Pulling the strings, making us dance to their tune.
But we're not going to let that happen.
No.
We're going to expose them.
We have to.
We're going to tell everybody what they're really up
To
to.
raise awareness.
And we're going to fight back.
We have to fight.
We need to learn about the risks of AI.
Educate ourselves.
And we have to demand transparency and accountability.
Absolutely.
And we can't let the WEF control this technology.
No.
This is a fight for the future of humanity, right?
It is a David and Goliath situation.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, David won.
Right.
We can too, but we have to be smart, strategic, and never give up.
Yeah, we have to take back the narrative about AI.
Yes.
It shouldn't be about profits and control.
Yeah.
It should be about helping people, creating a fairer world, and protecting the environment.
That's the future we need to fight for.
And it starts with recognizing the danger,
Yes.
not being complacent, and actively shaping the future of AI.
Because the future isn't set in stone.
Okay.
It depends on the choices we make today.
So we have a choice.
Yes.
We can either give in to the WEF's vision.
A world controlled by AI?
Yeah, or we can fight for a future where AI serves humanity.
That's right. Not the other way around.
The power is ours,
It is.
but we have to use it wisely. They're like building this huge, complicated thing and saying, don't worry, we got this.
Yeah.
But who are they to tell us, what's best for everybody?
Right. I mean, they talk about equitable AI, but they seem to think equitable means they're in charge.
Right.
And they get to make all the rules.
Yeah, it always comes back to control, doesn't it?
It does.
Control the data. Control the infrastructure.
Yep.
Control the story.
And in the end, they control us.
And they want to use AI to do it.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect weapon, right?
Powerful.
Adaptable.
And in the wrong hands, dangerous.
Yeah. So what can we do?
Yeah.
I mean, are we just stuck, slaves to the WEF's AI?
I don't think so. I think we still have a choice.
Yeah.
We can choose to pay attention,
Yeah.
to learn, to get involved.
But what does that actually look like?
Okay, well, first we have to educate ourselves about AI.
Okay.
We have to understand, what it can do, both good and bad.
Right.
And we can't just take the WEF's word for it.
Yeah, we have to do our own research.
Ask questions. Don't just believe the official story.
Right. And we have to support the people who are trying to make AI ethical.
Yes.
Who are fighting for transparency and accountability.
Absolutely. The people who want a more democratic approach, where everyone has a say.
Right. And we have to speak up.
Yes.
Tell people about the dangers of AI if it's not controlled. Talk to our friends and family.
Yes.
And tell our governments to put people before profits.
Exactly. Because this is a big fight.
Yeah.
It's David versus Goliath.
But David won.
He did. And we can too. But we have to be smart.
Right.
We have to have a plan.
Yeah.
And we can't give up.
We have to change the story about AI.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be about control.
No.
It should be about, helping people.
Yes.
Making a fairer world. Protecting the environment.
That's the future we should be fighting for.
And it starts with understanding the danger.
Yeah.
Not being, just sitting back and letting it happen.
Right. We have to be active.
And shaping the future of AI ourselves.
Because the future is not decided.
Right.
It depends on what we do today.
Yeah. We have a choice.
We do.
We could either go along with the WEF's plan,
A world where AI controls everything.
or we can fight for something better. A future where AI helps humanity.
That's it. AI working for us, not the other way around.
And the power to do that.
It's in our hands.
We just have to be smart enough to use it. Well, that's it for our deep dive into, well, let's call it what it is, the WEF's plan for AI domination. We hope you learned something, and maybe, just maybe, it'll spark some conversations. And we have people thinking about what kind of future we want. And if you want more deep dives into the world of AI, the good, the bad, and the ugly, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We'll be back soon with more. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay vigilant.